Here we go. All right. What's up, everybody? Stacking Surfer here. And we've got Nick again from Nick's Coins. So
Hi.
thank you for coming out, everybody. We're going to try something new with the format as far as the screens go here, and then we'll do some close-ups to show you guys some other stuff too, hopefully tonight. But if you could put a 1 in the chat if you can hear us okay, that would be great. That way we know everything's working. And Eagle Steve, I want to welcome you out tonight. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Eagle
And
Steve.
we also have OC Stackers out as well.
Oh,
And it looks like Yankees going long, so it may be a little while before we have a lot of people jumping in. I know Tiger Stacker sent like a ton of giveaways into his
he did?
tonight. He did like a whole package. So Tiger just
Wow.
had a bunch of handmade, like hand poured stuff created for his
Hmm.
channel, which is really cool. So he's got some channel rounds that just came out.
Oh, I didn't
So
realize he did that.
yeah,
That's really cool.
I think it's going to be really awesome. So I can't wait to see more of those. But a lot of them were packaged so tight, Yankees, like I don't have time to open these on.
Oh, I
Email,
thought he
so.
sent him to, I thought he sent him to your channel.
No, no,
That's
no,
what I
no.
thought you meant.
Um, I may have something to open up a little bit later in the stream today. So I may have that for us. And we've got Chef Stacker LA as well. Welcome. I'm hoping to meet Chef Stacker either Saturday or Sunday at the Coin Show. I think he's going to come out and say hi
Nice.
to us. And
Okay.
and then let's see what we have here. Coins Mac Jones just texted me and asked me if I can get your digits. Oh gosh, I'm not even gonna finish reading that one yet. All right. And then we've got Weather the Possibilities. Welcome to the
Hi, Whitney.
chat. And we have Seymour Rivers. Hello. And the UFO 2009. And then we also have Blue Collar Coin and Bullion. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, please go ahead and do that. That's going to help people know that this is streaming right now.
Hi,
And
Flag City.
Flag City, welcome. Good to have you. Um, let's see here. Nick's Coins, do you see the message on your short about the coin auction on the 27th?
I will go back and look. I haven't looked at the comments, so that I'm interested. So Flag City, I'll go back and check tomorrow because I'll get off on here pretty late and I got to be at work tomorrow. So I'll go check. Thank you for leaving that.
Awesome. So I'll do a quick little shout out, Nick, just for a second here on this
Mhm.
um, coin show that is coming up here where I'm at. Um, oh. I don't see it. Okay, I'm gonna have to find it later. I'll find it in a little bit for us to share. One thing I do want to share with you guys real quick that's kind of fun. This goes off of our last show, um, and I don't know if I can see if I can get it to bring to the front. Okay, cool. If you guys see this picture here, this is about a year ago. I asked Midjourney, which is an AI design tool. I asked it to create a gold coin with a Viking in a ship, and it created this in less than a minute, which I thought was pretty darn cool. So if you guys can see that, you'll notice like the fingers are kind of messed up. The hands are kind of.
Oh, I see.
So this AI technology is not perfect yet. It's advancing very quickly, but in the top right, the guy's thumb has a coin on it, and it's really messed up. The bottom right, you got a thumb and some other weird things going on, and then the bottom left, you've got another weird hand. But what I thought was really cool is this thing created a coin, and I asked it for a Viking to be holding it, and this
That's
is
really
kind of
neat.
what it put together. So, um, there are ways if you're getting ideas for design, you can use AI to do that. And having this be created like this in 1 minute is a little bit scary for graphic designers because I mean, how long would that take someone to design on a computer? It would take a long time. Um, but I did want to show you guys that because I thought it was kind of cool. And then another article came out from Fox News too, talking about the U.S. and China using AI to create AI kill bots. So
That's scary.
that's kind of scary. So watch out for that
Hmm.
stuff. Um, But anyway, that was from our last show with AI stuff. Today, Nick, what are we talking about today?
Pre-33 gold.
Pre-33 gold. Okay, so um, I would love to know from those of you, Texas Stacker, welcome. For those of you that are in the chat right now, how many of you have uh, either own pre-33 gold or have been thinking about getting some pre-33 gold? Um, put a one if you guys are thinking about that. If you have no idea what pre-33 gold is, give us a two. And if you have no interest in pre-33 gold, but you wanted to come out and hang out with us tonight, put a three in the chat. I'd be curious to see where you guys sit on it.
And hi to Seymour and T Girl.
Oh, West Texas Stacker. That's funny. Um, all right, so we've got at least one.
Treasures Unlimited auctions. I'm going to have to go look. Flag City. I was also interested in that auction you spoke about last night in the chat. And hi, Brent. But I couldn't find it. So I would like to ask you about that as well.
Uh, Nick Brent is he's halfway through a 1933 typeset.
Oh my goodness. That's going to be something I would like to see.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
That sounds, yeah, and expensive.
It would be expensive. So West Texas Stacker does not have any pre-33, but does have 1/10 Eagles. I think 1/10 Eagles are a great way to get started with gold. And I
I
think
absolutely
also
agree.
I think it's a great size to have because if you're ever going to be bartering with gold, it's probably not going to be with 1 ounce coins very often, um,
No.
unless you're buying a car or something like that or a house.
And for resale, it makes it good for resale as well because they're not as expensive. So there's more opportunity to have people afford them versus the 1 ounce.
They're total.
If you need to sell quickly,
So Nick, what would happen if gold goes up to $5,000 an ounce?
I mean, I'm going to sell. I'd sell a lot of mine and then wait for it to go back down. I mean,
For sure.
I would love to see it go up that way, but right now I like it low so I can acquire more.
But let's
Because
say
it's
it
just
did
going to
go
be
up
more
to
expensive.
5,000. What do you think's going to
Mhm.
be what's going to be easier to sell, a 1 ounce or a 10th ounce?
A 10th ounce, I believe.
Yeah, I think it'll be way easier to sell. Um, the other thing is maybe you don't want to sell a full ounce. Maybe you want to sell half of an ounce, or you just need to sell 1 or 2 10th ounces. So I think those are great ways to go. Um,
In my area where I am, I don't have a local coin store anymore that I go to because he closed, and the other one is really not something I'd want to go in and purchase because they're very expensive. So if I was to sell peer to peer, I'd be able to sell 1/10. It's a lot easier than I would the 1 ounce, or on eBay because I don't have a store. So that's a much easier sell for me. Um, I know it's different for others, and I know it's different for you, Surfer. But for me in my area, I could go sell to somebody and sell that 1/10 a lot easier than I could versus the even 1/2 or
I
the one
agree. And if
ounce.
you remember, like maybe if I don't know if you experienced this or not, but when silver and gold were going up pretty high, so we had silver up in the, what was it, 26, 27 almost,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
we had gold sitting there just below $2,100.
Yes.
Um, I tried to go sell some silver bars, and my closest guy told me, "I'm not buying silver. I have too much now." People were selling it and unloading it, so he
Hmm.
said, I can't take any more silver." And then that same guy I went back to a little bit later after that and said, "I'm no longer accepting cash. I'm no longer paying out cash. It's only in checks and credit cards." Um, and I thought that was kind of crazy too. So you do get things that change from time to time. But I found even at other coin stores I went to during that time, a lot of them weren't wanting to take as much in right then because they
Hmm.
they were flush, right? Um, and I thought that was interesting because a lot of times when you see prices go up, people start buying more. But at least the local stores here, people were selling. And so you never know when you're going to get into a position where you want to sell, but you're having a harder time to do it. And to your point, um, it'll be easier to sell smaller ones to individuals than trying to sell a
Right.
whole
It might
ounce.
be an easier sell with peer to peer. And hi, SPB. It's good to see you.
FTP in the house. What's up, man? All right. What else? We had another comment in here I was going to look at.
Something I saw Flag City said about an 1881. Um, don't buy one of those unless you know what you're doing. Don't attempt to buy an 1881 proof set unless you know what you're doing.
Yeah, in general, I would say don't buy proof sets unless you know what you're doing. They tend to have higher premiums on them.
And Sean sold some gold today.
Sean, what did you sell today?
Mhm.
Well, you don't have to tell us how much or how many ounces, but
Yes, he does have to tell us how much because I want to know if he got a good deal if he sold it.
I,
Hi,
you don't have to tell us how
Joseph.
many ounces. You need to tell us the price per ounce. What did you get for it? If you're willing to share that, and it would be great to know if it was an eagle, a buffalo, or if it was something else.
And obviously he was happy with okay, 3 ounce of buffaloes, and you must have been happy because you sold it. So if you weren't happy with what you were going to receive, you probably wouldn't have sold it. Also bought some 2023 1 ounce and 5 ounce silver
Two thousand
Libertas.
and $5 each. I think that's a great price for buffaloes right now.
Hmm.
Especially, did you sell that to an individual or to a coin shop? Because that seems pretty high for a coin shop.
And he seems to talk about that his coin shop is pretty good in that he can get deals and sell his stuff for pretty good to the LCS.
Yeah, his coin shop, yeah, to his LCS. So I think that's a really good price for an LCS. Um, I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I want to see where did gold end for the day.
So, and Brent has some that he's looking at that's going to be Mr. Chubby Hubby. Good to see you, my friend.
So gold ended at least on Kitco at 1974. Yeah, I think that's a fair price. I probably wouldn't
That's a
buy
very fair price.
buffaloes. I wouldn't sell buffaloes right now for below 2,000. And Kitco's got gold going at 1991. So yeah, I think you got a good price on that, Sean. I would definitely not go
Hmm.
below that. Um, but yeah, that's awesome. Congrats.
It's really good.
And he made money on it, which is great. I think that's one of the keys, guys. To is you try to buy as low as you can. You try to sell as high as you can when you need to. Have some cash on hand, but sometimes the cash runs out, and that's part of what metals are for. Um, and so I think bullion, like buffaloes and eagles, are really good for um, being able to sell more quickly. What we're going to be talking about with pre-33 gold today, it depends on what kind you get into, but some of that is not going to sell very quickly or easily. You may have to go through an auction to do it, depending on what you have. Um, and other times you may not be able to get the price that you're wanting for it.
Right.
So you gotta be careful with that. So we'll put some disclaimers as we get on to that. One thing I did want to do real quick, Nick, is just
Hmm.
a quick update for everybody. We're going to go every other time to our channel. So Nick will be on Tuesdays. I will be on Thursdays on my channel. And one of the reasons we're going to be doing that is we're finding that it's kind of splitting the stream between both of us, and we're wanting to have it build up so that more people are able to see the video and things like that. And then also the other issue is we were splitting the chat, so not everybody could see each other's comments. Um, so if
And
you
it got really confusing
Yeah, it was
for
getting very
all.
confusing for a lot of people. So we'll announce it later in the stream too. But if you guys haven't subscribed to both of our channels, I'd recommend subscribing to both so you don't miss the notifications when we're going live. And then we'll do our best to try to notify people in our different uh, the followers on our two different channels on when we're doing videos. But I think that's going to be pretty important to look at too. Um, so any other announcements on your end, Nick? Anything else coming up you wanted to share?
No, I still have a Game Juice regular season flip coin.
Let's see it. Let's see it again. Bring it up. Here,
Okay.
I'm gonna switch over so it's
So
just
I
you that
did
people
I
can see.
did open the capsule, and it wouldn't come off on this side, so I wasn't going to take it out um of the capsule because it was like stuck in there. So this says if you can see, it says kickoff, says game day, NFL or the National Football League, and then it has the logo, and then it has the year that this was used, which was 2021. Then it has the New England Patriots, and then 1960. So I have done some research on this, and there's only one made for the regular season flip coin. There's 25,000 made for Super Bowl. So the first 100 go to the NFL. The first two are on the field. One is a backup, and then they go into the Hall of Fame, and then they go to the team that won the Super Bowl that year. And then, of course, the fans can purchase the after the 101 to the 25,000. So, but this particular coin right here, there's only one made for the flip coin. And I did look on eBay because people were, the chat was teasing me.
Yes, they were.
And when they said that they could get them for $25, sure you can, but you're going to get that Super Bowl commemorative coin. You're not going to get the flip coin that was used on the field. So no, I'm just teasing.
So my
But
my guess with that, Nick, is people probably are not selling these. They're too special.
they're too special, but I bet, but my guess too is people don't realize that they could probably pick them up or how to acquire them because
That
I was looking for
true.
several
Yeah.
years, several years, and I don't know why I didn't do what I did this week because it was really simple. But I guess if I thought I'd find one in a coin store or on eBay or somebody selling it, but I never could find one. So I searched a lot and asked questions too to people in the community. I asked a Coin World because they did an article on them as well, and they had no idea. So um, I was pretty pleased, and I'm just teasing too when I stuck my tongue out because it's you know I'll share one day in a video what I did to and who I contacted exactly to get one. But my intentions when I did contact these folks was not to get one for free. My and I got it for free. Just they just mailed it to me. But my intention was to ask where I could find one. Could they lead me in the right direction? And are they at auction? Do you guys have a store that I could purchase them? Um, so my main goal was really just to have questions answered.
I think it's awesome. And the fact they sent you one is great.
It is great. And again, I think you spoke about this too. It's what our own interests are, right? It's not silver. But it's something that I wanted in my stack because it's just something that I thought was cool. And it kind of brought football and coins together for me because you can't start a football game without a flip coin. And that's exactly what it's called.
Yeah.
It's not a coin anymore, but at one time it was a coin and they still considered flip coin.
I think it's awesome. I have a coin that I put in my diversion safe.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's silver, but it's a little too shiny now that I see silver more. Uh,
Right, right.
it's still worth $25, and I don't even know what it's made out of. I haven't taken the time to really
Mm-hmm.
look into it, but it is not silver. But it's a coin I got a long time ago, and it has I think it's Betsy Ross, the American flag.
Oh.
So one of these days,
Mm.
I'll pull that out to show you guys. But it's a cool coin that means something to me, and it still has some value, even though it's not using precious metals.
Right.
I found
Mhm.
another one that I got a long time ago that is I think it's a Hawaiian coin, and it did turn out to be silver. And I don't even know how I got that coin. It was something that I found in my little box of trinkets from when I was a kid.
Oh, well, there you
I
go. But
really
you had it when you were a little kid, so
I
that's kind of special, right?
yeah, for sure.
And that's true, Seymour. And somebody said, because I can't see, I got my chat up this time, but I can't see the name so well. Love me some football, go Niners. And I would like to see the Niners win. I'm a avid um, Patriots fan, but Constitutional Stacker, it's good to see you.
Welcome. Thank you for coming in, guys.
Address, please. He would like your address, Surfer.
Um, my address. All right, I'll have to. I'll put it in here.
Oh, I think he's teasing to come. Maybe he wants to come visit
Oh,
you.
you want to come
And
visit? Okay,
yeah, he
I
lives
can
in
always get my
Oregon.
address to you when I want it. But yeah. So you guys aren't going to be able to totally see where I'm at. But here's my fire pit. There we go. With the fire in it.
Now,
But
this look was for you, OC Stacker.
that look. OC Stacker, don't push it too hard.
I'm wearing Georgia Bulldog red,
Oh
not
no.
crimson
She did it for you, man. Um, so constitutional. I'm in South Orange County, California, is where I live, and I'm about well, we're on the coast, so we're really close to the ocean. And south of me is a big military base, and the north of me is traffic and crazy stuff. The further you go, it just gets crazy.
traffic.
But where I'm at's pretty good, and like a UFO out there or something. Anyway, we
I
see
thought it was
weird
Chief.
stuff around here.
Definitely.
So, but it's a great place out here. It is where I happen to live is very conservative, probably more conservative than a lot of places other people live in, and we happen to be surrounded by the opposite of that, and live in a state that's opposite of that. So, a lot of people here are kind of like undercover stackers and undercover Second Amendment right type people. Um, and some of them aren't. I mean, you all see trucks driving by that have flags and Trump signs all over them. So you get kind of a mix down here where we're at, but we're kind of smack between San Diego and LA.
He said it was a joke. You mentioned your decoy safe.
So a side note on that, I think it's good to as you guys are stacking, it's good to learn a little bit of safe tips on how to store your metals, where to store them, and part of that I think is having a decoy or multiple decoys. You can have multiple safes. You can have multiple places that you store your metals. Just remember where you're putting everything. Um, Depends on if you have fire risks. Depends on if you have more theft risks. On what kind of safes you go with. But I do have a video that I've shared in the past with that. Um, I think it's good to get a good idea of that. So he wants to know my decoy safe.
That's,
All my good stuff is not on site, guys. You're not going to find it. Um, so we're talking about
that's
Pre-33 today. I don't have any Pre-33 here. You won't find it.
I do. I have one.
All mine is stashed away very, very safely. Well,
I do
let's
have one example.
let's do this, Nick. Can you? I'm going to go to your screen too, and I'm going to have you share that real quick, and then we'll get started on
Okay.
33. All right,
This is
guys,
a
look at this.
pre-33 gold.
So what I see is a Liberty head.
Yes.
Pull it back maybe just a little bit.
Pull it back a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I think you can see a little bit better there. So we're looking
Oh,
at a let's see. I
a
can't tell.
Liberty head.
Yeah, I can't tell the year though. 18.
Oh, it's it's hard for me to see. It's 1885 S PCGS AU 58 $5. Hi, Craig. And to be honest with you, I'd like to share, if you don't mind, I'm going to share the story about how I
Yeah,
acquired
tell
this real
us.
quick.
Tell us. Yep, that'd be great.
I had a migraine. I had a migraine all weekend long, and there was a 1,000 party at Can Collectibles channel, and all of a sudden, and so he was giving this away for his 1,000 party, and so I was migraine. I kind of just camped out, didn't get on YouTube or anything, and all of a sudden, my phone was blowing up, and I had won this coin, and I had to go into the chat to claim it. So, matter of fact, Heather's chubby hubby that was in this chat was one of the ones that tried to contact me to say, "Hey, go claim that coin, that gold coin." So I won this on Can Collectibles.
I
And
think
he's an auction that I go to on Monday nights that I really like. And you'll see a lot of numismatic coins like this.
so. Are you
Um,
saying you won the auction, or you?
I won this coin. I won this gold coin.
That's awesome.
It was a giveaway. It was the main giveaway for that 1,000 party, 1,000 sub party.
I think that's great. I think we need to get you to 1,000 subs, Nick, so you can give it away as
Oh,
well.
oh no. And because this is just a special coin. I mean, it was just so awesome how the community came together and because if I didn't claim it, it would have went to the next person, right? So I had several people in the community. They were trying to through Facebook Messenger, through Instagram, through text, through email, trying to contact me to go claim this. So I just thought, how awesome is this community to be so glad for me that I won instead of them being selfish saying, "Oh, we don't want her to win because now we want to see if we have a chance." So I just thought that was amazing, and it just goes to show what kind of community we're a part of.
I think that's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean that is a great 1,000 sub giveaway.
I would give a great 1,000 sub giveaway as well, but this because it was given to me and
No,
it's
you
a
got to
little
keep
bit
that
it's
one. You got to
special.
keep that one.
And I'm definitely not gonna give away my flip coin, so
No, you hold on to those things.
and I'm just teasing. So, yes, I would hold on to these things, but because I was so blessed and stuff yes. And I believe, somebody had donated that to Can for his 1,000 sub giveaway. So that's the kind of community we're a part of.
I think that's awesome. And the other thing I'll throw out there too, Nick, just as an aside, if any of you, again, if you guys haven't subscribed to Nick's channel, you definitely need to go do that.
Thank you.
She's got great live streams. She does many live streams with a lot of people. My primary mode is videos that I put out, and then I've just started doing live streams. But Nick does a lot of live streams with a lot of different. I'd say you do a lot of live streams with coin collectors, and
I do. I
and so you
do.
get you get a really good knowledge of detail around say Morgan dollars, around other kinds of collectibles that are out there, and I learn a lot from watching the other streams that you have too. There's just a lot that
Well,
comes up.
thank you. There's a lot of smart people within this community, and we're not gonna know everything, so it's nice to pick up things from people that do know, and there's always new information to learn, so
There totally is. So real quick, I'm going to move our screens around a little bit so people. Well, I'm going to see if I can bring these forward here. These are two of my favorite pre-33 coins. I don't know if you'll be able to see the screen, Nick. If not, I will describe them for a second. Uh,
okay.
but the first one is, um, I don't know the name of these coins. I really should have probably done that. I just haven't had time to research them. But this is my favorite Indian head um, gold pre-33. This one happens to be from 1927, and what I really like about these is you can get these in $2.50, $5, um, and they're great coins. These ones I think are just so classic. And anyway, this is one of my favorite coins that I like. And then I'll show you this other one here. Oh, that sent it all the way to the back. Let's see if we can go backwards. No. All right, let's bring the video forward. Technology, it doesn't always work right. Okay, so we'll put that one back here, and then this is the other Indian head gold piece.
Thank you, big test unit.
So check this out right here. This one comes in the $10 size. So the $10 size is going to be close to half an ounce. These have just exploded in value. So right now, if you're looking at pre-33, these ones I would stay a little bit clear of because you're going to pay a higher premium than you might for the other Indian heads. Those are really cool coins too. So those are two of my favorite ones, Nick. I also like the St. Gaudens, and I also
That's my favorite. The St. Gaudens is my favorite.
I think those are great. And then we have a super chat here. it's from Constitutional Stacker earlier. That's why it popped up. So um, he's asking for the address. But anyway, thank you for the super chat.
Mhm.
That was pretty funny. Um, yeah, you're not going to find my real house address, but I would have given you my PO box. Anyway, um, let's see what else we had on here. If anybody has any comments on here. Um, so, so Nick, one of the questions I have for you is, what would be your main reason, or what are some of the reasons that you look at when you make a decision between buying a bullion gold coin or buying a pre-33 coin? Why would you look at pre-33 in the first place?
The historical value, the numismatic value. Um, Right now, I've been buying the bullion though because of cost and the price that I can acquire a lot more. I have purchased some from Stack Bowers auction,
Okay.
and I was able to get that at a fairly decent, very good price, much less than what it was worth. So you can find those deals out there. You've just got to really look. Hi, Randy Matthews. And right now for me, it's about cost and being more cost effective when I'm stacking. So that's not something I really stack a lot of.
Um, but I would agree with you. For me, I like the historical nature of it, right? Um,
Hmm.
let's say gold becomes even more expensive than it is today, and let's just say it becomes a little harder to acquire it. Um, I think it's going to be even more harder to acquire pre 33. They're not making any more of it. A lot of it was melted down. Most of what you can get your hands on with pre 33 are coins that were sitting in Europe during the time of the confiscation, and they were sitting in bags, or they were,
Oh, I did not know that.
yeah, most of them were in Europe. And so it wasn't until Nixon,
Okay.
or not Nixon,
Hmm.
maybe it wasn't Nixon, it was in the 50s. So it wasn't until like 54 or so that they allowed the gold to come back into the country without confiscating it. I forget the exact year. Maybe one of you guys have that exact year. But when that was allowed, then a lot of this gold started coming back into the country. And what's funny is a lot of times people have stayed away from pre 33 gold or even constitutional silver. Once you got into the 70s and 80s, they saw it as junk. That's where the term junk silver came into play.
Right.
And a lot of people didn't want the older coins because they didn't look very nice, or a lot of them were not in the best of condition, or um, they just wanted something that was more pure today, and they wanted other bullion coins that were out there too from other countries as well. Yeah, I think it was Roosevelt. I think that's right, Craig. So it would have been Order 6102.
Yeah, he's the one who ordered the confiscation of it. Hmm.
And so when you okay, so that's one of the reasons I think they're really awesome is I like the history of it. So for me, I've wanted to get a specimen of each kind if I can. That's like one of my goals. Um, and what I've noticed is you can buy them raw, and you can usually find them for a little bit over the price of like an eagle or a buffalo. And those are usually common dates. And then you can also buy them graded, but the graded ones tend to go for a lot more money.
They do, but it's safe for me because I have not bought any raw. And I saw some at auction. A matter of fact, I saw some in a Michigan auction,
Okay.
Heather's chubby hubby, um, in a Vassar, Michigan auction, and they were in good condition. They were a little bit worn, but I felt like if I could get this for a cheaper price, I'm gonna try this because I do know the person that works at the auction, and I know that they were real. But I wouldn't buy them raw in a lot of different places. And I did bid on it, but then it went too high to where went way above melt, and because it was so worn, I wouldn't have paid the amount that they were bidding on it.
So how does a graded one give you more comfort?
Well, because first it's going to give me a grade, so I'm going to be able to have a value on it. And then I do know it's real. I do know it's a real pre-33 piece and not a replica and just trying to pass as a pre-33 gold.
I would agree with you on that, and it also allows you to that point. You can look at the year. So with pre 33,
Hmm.
be kind of like looking at Morgan's guys. It has numismatic um, value to it, and so you're looking at the year, you're looking at the
Hmm.
grade, and then you're also looking at. For me, I like to look at the condition of it anyway. So things will vary a little bit in the grade. You'll have some that look a little bit better than others. I've
And
got
condition in numismatic value is a lot. I mean,
it
can
totally.
add, you can make or break a coin as far as value.
Yeah. So Craig points this out. I guess we should mention that since we're talking about pre 33. Um, because we're using the term pre 33, all the gold that you can purchase legally is from 1932 or older. That's U.S. coins. If you have one that is 1933, um, it is illegal to own, except for one coin is legal to own, and I think that's held by someone in the Middle East, if I remember correctly. And
I think, yes, you're
yeah,
right, but that I looked
guy
that
that
up
has
and it
one.
has been sold to somebody in the US. It's somebody holds it in the US now.
Oh, someone does hold in the U.S. Okay.
Mhm. Yes, they do. But of course it's anonymous. So we don't know who owns it or where it is, but it's in the US,
Um, so if you had your hands on that coin, that is at least $1 million coin, if not more. And it
if not more.
might be like 10 or 20. I don't know, but it's going to be a very expensive coin. And if you come across one of the other ones, then just bury it in your backyard. Pretend like you didn't see it. Keep it for the
Hmm.
future. Because technically, it needs to go to the FBI for being a counterfeit coin, correct? If you were to find
Or
a 33.
well, we determined it's not counterfeit, it's illegal to own. So there were, they say there was 13 survived from that year, and couple are in the Smithsonian, then outside the Smithsonian. So one is legal, and the Secret Service, I believe, has the rest, has at least 10 of them that they found them, and they're saying they're illegal to have. So they confiscated them. But it is in the court systems.
So Craig tells me it was 18 million bucks is how much it sold for.
Gee. Whoa. I wish,
So,
because I mean, can you imagine? That would be my ultimate coin to have.
oh yeah. So you guys look at this. I mean, this is the argument I have with one of my good high school friends. We have a little investing group, and every time he's a big Bitcoin guy, so he's trying to get me to buy Bitcoins, not just a Bitcoin, multiple Bitcoins. Like I'm like, I don't have the money for that. So get rid of all the other stuff you have around your house and your other investments and just buy Bitcoin. And I'm like, I don't think so. Um, but he looks at Bitcoin, and one of the things he always says that he loves about Bitcoin is um, that you can transport a huge amount of value very quickly, and you can take it with you anywhere in the world, and you can just have it stored in your head. Well, it can get hacked. You can forget the number or the 12 seed phrase, and you can also run into a situation where there's no electricity, so you can't use it. It doesn't mean you necessarily lose it, but then they also argue that you can't transport a lot of gold, a lot of value in gold because it's too heavy. There's a coin for $18 million, and that is not going to be very heavy. You're talking about an ounce. So one thing that you can do with pre-33 gold is you can buy coins that are more rare, that are very expensive, that can pack a lot of value into one coin. I wouldn't recommend doing that from a stacking perspective, but from a wealth preservation perspective, you can do that. You can have one coin that has a lot of value. So that is
So
different than say.
Randy had a question about why it's illegal to own 1933 gold.
All right, Craig, do you want to tell him? Craig's our informer over here with all the data. So
But I just checked, and it is back
did
in
you,
the US. That one.
okay. So my understanding of why it's illegal is because they confiscated it. The gold they stopped minting in 1932, and in 1933 they confiscated the gold. And when they confiscated that, someone went ahead and minted. Um, I think it was around 15. I might not have the exact number, but it wasn't very many coins that were minted. And then the mint tried to get the rest of those coins because they had made it illegal to own it, and that's why it was a law that they created. Well, why did they make it illegal to own the gold? Um, there's a lot
So
deeper story there. Yeah, go ahead.
So what happened was in 1933, Roosevelt made it illegal to own, but they had minted them in 1933, and so they just were supposed to have destroyed all of them, but 13 made it outside of the mint, and so but one made it out of the mint, and before he made it illegal, was sold, so they consider that legal to own, and that's that one. They sent a couple to the Smithsonian, and then anything outside of that is illegal to own, and there wasn't many that survived. But it was a mint worker that actually stole them out of the mint, and and he was part of the investigation. I mean, it's a great story. They have a behind the scenes on this story, a history on Netflix. So they did mint them. They were just had to be melted down because that he made gold illegal to
Yeah, that
own.
makes sense. Does it say how many were minted in that year?
Um, no, no, I don't see how many. I'd have to really look at that, but that's the gist of why. But they were minted.
Okay, I'm going to try
It
to.
is stolen property. It sure is. But one of them were one of them was legal and had made it out legally, and it has made it back to the U.S. by through another auction.
So I've got the information all up here. So pre-33 gold is 90% gold, 10% copper. Um, and that it's actually the 10% part it's silver and copper. So that sounds similar to like an American gold eagle. Um, so it's technically 22 karat. Yeah, I can't in my data here. I don't have anything that tells me how many were actually minted that year. Um,
I don't remember the number either. But so my two ultimate to own was a flip coin and the 1933 gold. So that's my next goal. I already got the flip coin now.
okay, I'm reading one thing here too, Nick. Here, this article says the goal was to nationalize the gold supply, a part of Roosevelt's strategy for breaking the grip of the Depression. Since that time, the U.S. Mint has not minted any 90% pure gold coins for circulation. Um,
It might be 22 karat because what?
I think it is 22.
I think it is 22 because the American Gold Eagles are 24, right? Are they 24?
24 karat is going to be your buffaloes.
Okay.
And okay, so let's see here. That one you were holding, did you say it was a $5 or $10?
It's a $5.
Okay. So they're all, if you look at ounces, like yours would be a 0.24 ounce, 0.24187, so just under a quarter. So they're pretty similar to what we have now, but if you're looking at eagles a little bit at least. Um, so I guess another question that always comes up with pre-33 that I'd love to ask everybody in the audience here is if you guys are concerned about gold confiscation, put a 1 in the chat. If you think there's no way they're going to have a gold confiscation, put a 2 down. I'm curious to see what you guys think.
So yes, I made a mistake on my 24 karat. Thank you. Is the gold buffaloes, and I don't have a gold buffalo, but maybe one day.
I think the gold buffaloes are awesome. You should definitely get one.
I think the American Gold Eagle is much. I like that better.
I'm not as big of a fan on it. I don't like the color as much.
Thank you, Steve Woods. That is very nice. I just think that's very nice of you. 1933 gold mintage was 445,500.
Okay, let's
One
see.
day I'll have a buffalo.
All right, so that was a lot of coins they had to melt down.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm surprised only 13 made it out illegally because maybe I would have tried to swipe one. I don't know. But can you imagine having to melt all that down after they were minted?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Randy, you like maples. They have a pretty color. I think they're prettier than the
Yeah, so the maples and the buffaloes are going to be 24 karat gold. I have two coins that are Canadian Wildlife Series that come in assay, and they are 5 9
mhm.
fine gold. So I'm guessing those are technically 26 karat. I've never heard of 26 karat, but I've never seen a 5 9s fine gold.
Oh, Sean's so sweet. The cat burglar. I
When
mean, that would have been tempting though, right? I mean, and they're beautiful coins. Nevertheless, in 1933, they were beautiful. Um, and the Spanish Mint has been putting out a beautiful gold coin. I have to say they're very well done. I think the color's great. I don't have the 1 ounce, but I do like the Spanish Royal Mint gold
so you're talking the lynx and the bull and the horse, the stallion.
and the horse. I don't think the horse has come out in the 1/10th yet, but I do believe it's come out in the 1 ounce.
Yeah, I think those will be coming out. So those are, I think they look really nice, those coins. And one of the things that I think's nice about it is that they've done the 10
Toro.
as well as the 1 ounce. Um, you know, the 1 ounces are pretty expensive, and those 10th ounces are just
Yes, they
a
are.
lot easier to get. And if you guys are interested in those coins, those are ones that you need to follow a little bit more on when they're coming out, and try to get them pretty early because they do seem to go up over
They
time.
are low mintage, I believe, as well.
They are.
I don't know how much, of the 1 ounce they're making or even the 10 ounce. I mean, the 1/10th ounce, but they're not high in mintage.
Yeah, it's the
You're gonna pay a little bit more too than, like, on a little bit more of a premium on these, but, it's a great series. It's the first series coming out of the Royal Mint as well, so it's gonna be a good, resale, I think.
I think so too. I think they'll do really well. And then the I guess to kind of talk about a little bit of series stuff too when you're looking at it. It's important to know what series you guys are looking at when you're stacking gold. And for me, it's the same thing with the Spanish gold coins, right? I think the Lynx is
Mhm.
the first one that came out, so it's always going to be there's always going to be a higher premium on that, most likely. Um, with pre-33 gold, though, it's interesting. It depends. It kind of ebbs and flows. Like there's a um, different people want different things at different times, and then they rush to it. So right now, that $10 Indian head is like the most expensive premium to get on those coins right now, and it used to be the St. Gaudens double
I
eagle.
love the St. Gaudens. I think that's just
Yeah, and
gorgeous.
now you're looking at the Indian heads jumping up too. Liberty
Mhm.
used to be what a lot of people had, so those you can find
Yeah.
a lot easier. Um, so anyway, that's kind of the pre-33 stuff for me. Let me see if we had. I forgot to look at the numbers up here. Okay, so most people are not worried about confiscation. So one thing I will agree with is I do not think there's going to be a time where people are going to show up to your house and say, "Hey, you bought something from one of the online bullion dealers. We have you on,
Mhm.
and we know you have all this gold in your house, and you have to turn it in." I don't think that's going to happen. Um, what I could see happening though is if the country gets in a really dire position and they're wanting to reset the currency and they're wanting to reset it against gold and they need more gold, I could see them doing a similar type of an order where they could make either gold illegal or they could have a windfall tax on gold. I'm not saying it's highly probable, but it's something that could happen again. Um, Gold has been confiscated in other countries as well. Um, so it is something that can happen. And for that reason, I think having some pre-33 gold is another hedge against just another scenario that can happen out there. Do I think you need to go crazy and just go all into it? No. I think bullion has its place, and it's definitely much more affordable.
So there's a question for you, Surfer. The Randy is asking, how can they take what I don't have? And somebody lost theirs in a boating accident.
Yes. Okay. Where is this? Is this Randy? Who's asking?
Oh, Randy says, how can the government take what I don't have?
Exactly,
I think he's
guys. So
joking.
look, um, we wouldn't have any pre-33 gold if everybody turned it in. And you have to remember back in those days, there was probably a fair amount more patriotism going on in the country than there is today. And so you had people thinking, hey, I need to do this to support my country. Nowadays, I think most people would just, you would lose it all in a boating accident. And you would say, I have no idea where it went. It's not here. So it's another good reason to not only secure your metals, but to make sure they're secure in a place that's hard to find as well. But I wouldn't worry too much about it, guys. But it is something that could happen again. It's not 100%, that we're not going to have a confiscation again. It's just very unlikely. Yeah.
I mean, people are saying that about guns as well. So it's just have a great hiding spot.
It's the same thing with guns, guys. It's very unlikely they're going to confiscate them, but they could do things like, hey, maybe in today's dollar, if they came out and said, hey, we will give you $10,000 for every AR rifle you have, there are people that would turn in their AR rifle. And if they gave you $5,000 for every handgun, people would turn those in.
And I believe there's something similar to that now where you can go turn in firearms and drop them off at the local police station, fire department, and they'll just take them. And I think a lot of people do that when they decide that they don't want any guns or want a part of them anymore. So they do have a program. They won't give you any money for it, but they do have a program where you can go drop off firearms that you don't want.
That is totally true. And I don't know if it's everywhere, but I know there are cities that definitely do that. I don't know if it's by states, but with any of this stuff, you guys can decide to comply or not and do whatever you want to do with things. But I wouldn't 100% rule it out. So would I say just go and buy pre-33 because of confiscation and you need to sell everything and go for it? I wouldn't. I like to stack multiple different kinds of ways and different things. I primarily get pre-33 because it's historical. They're not going to make it again. And it's, once everybody gets, right now the country's only 1% in precious metals. What if we get to 5 or 10%? That stuff is going to be much harder to buy, and it's going to be worth a lot more. Because there's a narrow amount of coins that are available. So that's what I primarily look at. I agree with you, Nick. I think that's what you were saying earlier as well.
Mhm. In my area, they don't anymore as much as they had, but they used to have gun shows, and then within the gun shows, there was coin shows. So there's a lot of gun shows still that you can purchase a firearm with gold and silver. They used to have a lot of them. They don't have as many, but I have still seen where they do
Yeah.
have them.
And here's another point that Craig makes too. That's probably more likely. They could restrict the ability for you to sell to coin shops and for coin shops to sell out to people. So, for example, with self-defense of the Second Amendment, those kind of weapons, they could make bullets so expensive that people no longer want to own guns, or it doesn't make it feasible. If you made coin shops and coin shows illegal, it gets a little harder to. You got to start bartering. It gets harder to do stuff.
In 2020, didn't we see that though with ammo? It was going up in cost, and it was much harder to get the ammo that you needed. And now that's why we're seeing a lot of people stack ammo, so to speak, because it was so hard and so expensive during 2020.
I completely agree.
And it's getting harder and harder to and they are outlawing some of the firearms that we do have. So there could be a time that they wanted to come take those AR-15s.
So I think that could happen.
In my local coin store
Yeah, go ahead.
was
Sorry.
a gun and coins store. Yeah, it was called Coins and Guns. That's exactly the name of it.
Well, you knew
Yep.
that you didn't want to rob from that store.
No, but what the benefit of that store was is I loved all the coins. My husband loved all the guns. So I'd say, why don't you go to the coin store with me? Why don't you buy yourself a gun? And then I'd say, look at all the stuff I want. Buy yourself a gun. And then it would be like, okay. And then I could say, Okay, can you pay for this? And he'd be like, sure, because then I wouldn't complain that he spent money on a gun.
That's awesome. Awesome. Oh, that's
Didn't
funny.
happen very often, but once or twice.
OC Stacker's AR rifle went down in a boating accident. I don't know, guys. Look, if things get bad enough, I think we're all going to have boating accidents, even if we don't own boats.
I mean, I've had several since, a couple of years, probably 3 or 4 boating accidents. I need to stop getting in boats.
You guys got to stop getting in boats now. Now it is possible to, to if you need to take a loss on a coin, you may not want to lose that one in the boating accident, but
I don't want to lose this one in the boating accident.
you don't want to lose that one in the boating accident. No.
No.
Well, that one you can just tell them it's not silver; it's not worth anything.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
But it'll be framed on the back wall, so they'll be like, "What's that?"
Yeah, nobody's gonna be able to steal it either. I'm gonna have AI protecting it, Surfer.
Oh, good. That's good. She's gonna have one of those dog robot things that are
Those
scary.
robots that, yep.
Have you seen that, Nick? Have you seen the dog robot ones that like Boston Dynamics makes?
I've seen a couple variations of them. Yeah.
One of them has a thing where like this neck comes out like from the back, and then
Oh,
you can mount guns on these things, and they'll knock
oh
your
wow.
down. They'll bust through your windows. I mean, I I just think it's crazy.
Randy.
Flipgate. Oh,
But when
Rand.
you said something about the neck, though, about the dog and the neck, all I could think of was like hungry, hungry hippo. Like the neck extend.
Yeah, no, that's funny. Hungry Hippo is funny. Um, we've got buy stocks in the chat. Hey, welcome. His son has enough ammo for 20 years. So if you've got
Thank
enough
you.
ammo for 20 years, that's a lot of ammo.
And they'll tell you too that ammo, it can expire. Now, my husband doesn't believe in that, but they say that ammo, after a certain, I don't know how many years, but they say it can expire.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the amount of humidity it's exposed to as well.
Well, we don't have much humidity here, except in the summer.
Yep. So I know, like in some places, most people will have in a gun safe. You'll have a dehumidifier to try to keep it as dry as you can in there.
Yeah.
We've got big test unit. Welcome. And let's see, we've got Craig is saying when Sports Authority went out of business, I bought so much ammo for cheap. When they had their clearance sale, he bought a ton of different gauges and different calibers of ammunition. Ammunition is, I would say, is another way to stack. My channel is not called Silver Surfer for obvious reasons, and it's also not called Gold Surfer either, but it's Stacking Surfer. And part of the reason I did that is I stack a lot of things. So I like to stack ammunition. I like to stack, call it lead. um, I like to stack weapons. I like to stack gold and silver. I like to stack food, water, and then a few other things that I think are kind of fun that can go up in value and can be useful for people too as well.
I like to stack toilet paper, Clorox bleach wipes. I think I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. But I'm going to, Sean, really? Don't encourage, please.
Oh no, OC.
This guy, I mean, if he wasn't so funny, I'd probably really wouldn't like him, but I kind of do because he is kind of funny. It's funny, but not not really. Kind of.
All right, OC. Um,
Any copper.
so Mr. Chubby Hubby says they make an aftermarket sealer for the primers to keep the primers good.
Mm.
So
Huh.
that's good to know.
Somebody said, any copper. I don't stack copper. I have a little bit, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah, my copper goes into diversion safe for weight, but it's not a lot.
I have diversion silver.
How does that work?
I just put it in places within my home that would look like that there would be a good hiding spot. So, or if somebody comes in and says, "Give me all your cash," I'm just going to give them all my diversion silver, and then I'm going to say, "Meet my 38."
Yeah, you go. It's over there in that drawer right there. It's kind of heavy. I can't pick it up for you.
Yep, and then
You
he's
reach
gonna
in.
turn around with all this diversion silver, and I'm gonna just be like, boom,
There you go.
boom, yeah, shakalaka type of thing.
I think that's funny. So
But
okay,
if you
so
have kids over, like you said, you have kids over at your home sometimes that you just wonder what they know, what you have, right? And so if there
yeah,
are
so
kids
I
over here
have
in the front, they're gonna,
a couple of my daughter's high school friends have started watching the channel at least at some point, and I found her going through my drawer of all my stickers, and she started handing them out. And I'm still waiting. Maybe I'll find some stickers on a light post or a stop sign somewhere at some point. But um, I have kids that come over, and then I have rappers that come over to my house. And some of
that's
these guys
cool.
are not. They're cool, but they're also it's a little sketchy. And so for me, and then we've also had Chilean cartels robbing houses in the neighborhood. So um,
Yeah.
and they haven't done it this year, but I have one of my good friends from high school lives not too far from me, and her family just left for dinner, and her front door got kicked wide open by three guys. It was dead bolted. They kicked it open, and she was just getting out of the shower, and she was
Wow.
yelling because she thought it was her husband, like slamming the door really hard. And they left, and there was a guy in a car waiting. So they had been canvassing her house, and they were
Wow.
waiting. They thought everybody was gone. They miscalculated, and they kicked it so hard it blew the jamb of the front door right open. So,
That's crazy.
and how many of us put our alarms on every time you leave the house?
I
How many are keeping all your windows closed or locked? And you may not need to where you're at, Nick, but
No,
houses
we
here
we
are
don't
really
because
close
yeah,
together. And we have a massive homeless population that likes to roam the
I do
streets,
rap.
and they will show up and rip off your Amazon on your porch. I've had that happen before. Luckily, it was all gluten-free pasta, so I don't think they got very lucky.
So they were pissed. They're gonna come back after you.
They didn't come back. They're
They're
like,
gonna
this
come
guy
back
has
for you
crazy
because they're
crap
like,
here.
because your packages stink.
Yeah, seriously. I think it was vitamins, and I think it was some vitamins and gluten-free
Amazing.
pasta. It was bad stuff.
Oh, it is patrolled by Bigfoot.
Oh man. Yeah,
So you have daughters, right? And their friends are watching your YouTube channel. So they may have a crush on you
a man crush on me.
because I yeah, you never know. I know
It,
my daughter had
you
used
know,
to all the boys wanted to come over here when she was in high school.
yeah,
I don't know why, but they did. Everybody always wanted to come to her house.
yeah, that's funny.
So,
Yeah, no, I mean, you never know, but it's with all of this kind of stuff, guys, a lot of it comes down to being safe about it. I don't ever plan on doing like a full stack reveal. I just don't think that that's smart, especially where I'm showing my face. For me personally,
mhm.
for other people, I guess they feel okay about that. Um, but to me, this channel and what I'm doing has nothing to do with how much I have
It's
back. Okay, there's a few things you want to show off, and I do too, from time to time.
Oh,
But
no, no, he just said it was the hair, and I said, "No, it's probably for my flip coin."
oh, it's for the flip coin. But I think it's important to, for me, my channel is about you guys, about community. What are we learning from each other? So today, Craig has been extremely helpful. I have
Helpful.
a bunch of these articles up behind all these windows. It's a little harder to get to, so I've been relying on him a little bit. I did have these articles up to hit on that. So maybe me being a little bit lazy, but so much of this comes down to community and getting to learn from you guys on stuff. So, last thing I'll just say about Pre-33 Gold is, if you don't have any of it and you haven't held it or looked at it, I think you need to go to a coin show or a coin shop and go look at some of it. Um, the way that it's made is different than how we make coins
Mm,
today. Um, a lot of times there's history to them. They were in circulation. They were being used by someone, And those $20 pieces, which are close to an ounce of gold, someone used that to buy a suit with it.
Isn't it amazing that
Really
you
cool.
could really use this and it was spendable, that people spent this?
It was spendable. You go to the store and you give it to the clerk,
Yeah.
and you get some good goods with it, and that's why they had it in 2.5, 5, 10, and $20.
That's what's amazing to me is just to think that people had gold and they really literally went to the store and spent it.
Yeah, can you imagine walking around with a bunch of gold coins?
No, because I mean, I would think somebody would rob me, right?
Yeah.
So it's to fathom that somebody had this in their pocket or in their pocketbook and was going to spend it. It's to me, it's amazing.
So Craig says pre-33 is a must. So um, I think if you're a collector, you have to have pre-33 in my mind. If you don't have it, you really haven't started understanding collecting. I also think you got to have peace dollars and Morgan dollars. I think those are some great coins to have as well. Um, the other thing I'll throw out there is, as far as why I think pre-33
Mm.
is really good to have, is okay. It's rare, it's history. Uh,
Mm.
it especially the graded coins. You can get a coin that has a population in the hundreds, where there's only a couple hundred of them that exist, and so it has a lot of collectability to it. It can be really cool. So the other thing I did recently, and I have a video that'll be coming out on this soon, is I traded a pre-33 gold coin for an ancient Greek coin. Would you ever do that, Nick?
Would I ever? I'm sorry. Would I ever what?
Would you ever
I was
trade?
reading the chat. I apologize.
Sorry, would you ever trade a pre-33 gold coin for a Greek silver coin?
To be honest with you, I don't know enough about the Greek silver coins to make to answer
Say
that.
the value is about the same.
Yeah, I probably would then.
So for me, it's history too, right? So
Mhm.
I got a video that'll be coming out on that because I thought that
I
was
guess it's a lot of it too is though is what you prefer and what you like and what you're educated on.
I totally agree on that. Okay, Craig says buy a pocket watch that was either 0.925 silver or 14 to 18 karat gold with your gold coins. That would be pretty cool. Um,
I also want to mention too, Surfer. I don't did we touch on your video that you did
oh no,
about
we forgot to.
333 gold?
So let me.
It's a good video. I learned something. I thought it was very
So
interesting.
this is the company that I talked with, guys. I'm just put
Indeed.
that out there for a second. So this is Mike. Here's his contact information on that video. But I picked up a couple brochures that I did not get a chance. I couldn't figure out how to get my scanner going, but I'll show you guys this real quick. Um, see if you guys can see it.
You
So
can see it. Mhm.
the other thing we didn't talk about, Nick, is and this relates to the video, but look at the dates there. If you can see that, okay.
Okay.
You can see in 1996. Oh, let me go up a little higher. Actually, which coin is that? Okay, so
Just give Randy a
this is America's first gold coin, $10 gold coin. In 1996, that coin went for 100,000, and in 2023, it went for 1.5 million. Okay, this
Oh my gosh.
MS65. So one thing I just want to throw out there is these things can go up quite a bit in value, um, and most of the people that care and are stacking it have money already, that are buying the super rare ones. So I don't have a coin that's worth 100,000,
Mm-mm.
um, and but people do buy those, and then they tend to go up really high, and when those coins are doing that, it also starts to pull the rest of the market up. So it is something that you can do. But the video I had
Yeah.
come out today was pretty fun. We were at the Long Beach Coin Show, and I was able to. I met a gentleman, Mike, and he's from Tangible Investments Inc. And he took some time to really walk us through a little bit of the history that we discussed today with Craig on here, um, and what happened with the confiscation. And he talked about the numismatic value of the gold coins, and he also talked a lot about um, what he does and how he buys and how he sells. And so he is a resource that's always looking to buy. So if you guys have pre-33 gold or bullion and you're wanting to sell, he's someone that is putting it out there that he'll buy. And then he also sells bullion. He was on the video. He at least said he's only 1% over spot, I think is what he was saying. I'd have to go back and rewatch the video, but I think you can get some pretty good prices from someone like that. Now, I've never bought from him before. He did not pay or endorse, the video. It's just a guy I ran into at the coin show that I was able to interview. But I think it's fun when you find someone that has a collection, and that collection that I show in the video is worth $3 million.
But I thought it was also interesting when he talked about PCGS
Yes.
and the grading company and how that come to be, and how close he was with that person. So that was something I also found that was interesting.
Yeah. So I think it's this guy here. Yeah. He did the first, how do I say it? It's,
Thank you, Seymour. And yes,
so as a co-founder of PCGS, he participated in authoring the standard by which all coins are graded. So this is the
hmm
gentleman that's their CEO, and he was the co-founder of PCGS. So
and
that's something.
that was something. And he was also at that coin show, from what I understand.
Yeah, we saw him earlier, and he was so busy talking to people, and by the time we got back there, he was gone, which was a bummer. But we were hoping to meet him, and the funny thing is, I was there with Metal Scholar. We
Okay.
actually thought that uh, we thought it was a PCGS booth. We thought
Oh,
we were interviewing someone from PCGS until we started looking closer, and we're like, we're getting a sales pitch. And so
but
then
he also did say that the booth PCGS was right beside you guys, or right
he
beside that
did.
booth that he
He
was.
did. But
Yeah,
when we first started setting up and everything, and then all of a sudden we started learning a whole bunch more information, and we're like, this is great. So Mike lives close to me. I'm hoping to take him out to lunch or go to dinner with him, and then I'm hoping that we can have him on a live stream. I think it would be great to have him
that would be
do a
great.
Q&A, which would be really cool.
That would be really cool because, I mean, he said in the video that a lot of people go up and talk to him and show them he wants to look at coins. They want to look at get his advice.
For sure. And I think so. The other thing I'll just do a quick announcement on, just a quick plug, is my channel did hit monetization. So I have,
Congratulations.
thank you. I've started doing memberships, and there's kind of an inexpensive one, and then there's an expensive one. But the expensive one's really for people that want more mentoring stuff. And the reality is that I really haven't shared with you guys enough of my professional career for anybody to probably want mentoring from me. But um, I will be sharing more of that in time with you guys. But I think it would be cool to do a Zoom call with the members, because that's something we have to keep a smaller group. And I'd love
That
to
would
have
be fun.
people. I'd love to have people bring their pre-33 gold coins onto camera and show it to someone like Mike and see if Mike can give you a value for it. Like, to me, that would be a really cool, you know, member benefit to do.
That would be amazing. You just got a member.
Awesome. Thank you, OC Stacker.
Good
And
night,
I'll
Steve Woods. We're going to be
Hey,
closing
Steve. Thank you.
soon.
Yeah, we're gonna be closing just a second. So anyway, I want to thank all you guys for coming out. And yeah, I'm noticing the time now too. So thank you for coming out, everybody. I know a lot of you were on Yankees channel earlier than this, and it went pretty long. Today's been a pretty big day for a lot of channels to get information out there. So I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging with us. And Nick, I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to share before we call it a night.
No, just thank you for joining us, and we will see you Tuesday
We'll see you
at
guys
10
Tuesday
p.m.
over at Nick's channel. And I don't think we don't have a subject yet. Or maybe we do. You
I
mentioned
thought
a
we talked
subject
about
earlier.
grading,
Yes, we're going to
and
talk about
grading
grading.
companies. Yeah,
Okay.
and what we prefer, and would love to take the chat and see what they prefer, which companies. I have my own that I prefer, um, and I've had experience with all three of them. So, hi, freaking awesome! Good to see you. So we'll just talk about our experiences with grading and which company we prefer.
That would be great. All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming, and peace out until next time. And oh, last thing, I'm going to try to do a live stream on Saturday. I'll put an announcement out for it, what it's about, and stuff like that. But it's going to be a monetization, fun video, not video, but a fun live stream where I'm giving away some silver stuff. So, Nick, if you're available, I'm going to try to pull you in to chat with us on that too. But I don't know.
Yes, I will make
I'll
myself
ping you in.
available.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.